The Dagger, a humble yet wicked little thing. Barely more than a sliver of sharpened metal, it slips between the ribs with ease, favored by those who strike first and ask nothing after. Lithe in hand, swift in motion, it thrives on speed and precision, turning a single misstep into a fatal mistake. Do not be fooled by its simplicity, for in the right grasp it is not just a tool, but a promise of a quiet death. It excels in critical strikes, making ripostes and backstabs all the deadlier, and with the right edge of war, it can cut deeper than its size would suggest. Many overlook it, but those who know a dagger's bite is often the last thing a foe remembers. Oh, the parrying dagger, a curious blade forged not for slashing, but for turning death aside. Crafted with a broad, curved guard, it is a duelist's tool, made for those who fight not with brute strength, but with a perfect timing. With his dagger in hand, a warrior can deflect even the deadliest of blows, opening their foe to a swift and merciless counter. Said to be favored by assassins and master duelists, it was designed for those who rely on skill over steel. Whether in noble courts or shadowed allies, one truth remains: a well-timed parry can turn even the mightiest warrior into a corpse. The Misericord, a dagger in name, but a weapon of execution in truth. With a long, slender blade, it is designed for one purpose: delivering fatal critical strikes. Among all daggers, it boasts with the highest critical damage, making ripostes and backstabs devastating. Warriors, knights, and assassins alike favor it, for when the moment to strike comes, there is no second chance needed. A single thrust straight to the heart, mercy in the cruelest form. You see this blade? It's a great knife and pretty, but it gets the job done. Light in hand, quick on a draw, and once it cuts, it keeps cutting, bleeding a foe dry before they even realize they are dying. Fancy knight might sneer at it, but a good killer knows a fast blade and a sharp edge beat polished steel any day. It's the weapon of the desperate, the hunters in the dark, those who strike first and don't need a second chance. You don't wield the great knife for a fair fight, you wield it to survive. Where it came from doesn't really matter. Some say it was forged for the bloodhound assassins, built for obedience, not armor. Others figure it's just an old killer's blade passed from one desperate head to the next, until it forgot what clean steel even looked like. Day 29 of Wandering the Land Between. I don't have much time to write today. The sun is setting, if such a thing even exists in this cursed land, and I hear distant roars too close for comfort. Could be wolves, could be worse. But before I move on, I need to put this down. Heard talk of a dagger, the bloodstained dagger, someone called it. An old traveler spat the name like a curse that no matter how many times you clean it, the blood always comes back. I scoffed at first, but then I saw it for myself. Darkened steel, edges worn, but the stains, they don't look like rust. A merchant whispered that it once belonged to a knight who betrayed his lord in the dead of the night. His teacher is so foul that the blade itself refused to forget. Another swore it was a tool of a nameless butcher, a man who killed so many that the steel itself learned to thirst. Truth or tale, I know this: a weapon like that never ends up in the hands of an honest man. Day 31 of Wandering the Lands Between. For once I allow myself to rest. I sit beneath the earth tree, watching its golden light shimmer through the air like something out of a dream. It is beautiful. Even after all I have seen and all I have fought through, I can't deny that. But the beauty of this land is never without its price, and today I came across a relic that proves it. They call it the Earth Steel Dagger, a blade said to be forged in the very light of this tree. A knight told me its edge is not merely metal, but a piece of the earth tree itself, shaped into a weapon, holy, sacred, yet still made for killing. It is a symbol of faith, they say, once carried by those who swore themselves to the greater will. But looking at it, I wonder, does the tree mourn the hands that wielded it? Or does it simply watch, indifferent, as the blood stains its sacred steel? Day 34 of Wandering the Lands Between. I found a knight today, long dead, slammed against the ruins with a strange dagger buried deep in his chest. Its twist blade caught the light in an eerie way, like it was made to wound, not to kill cleanly. I took it with me, unsure of what I had found. Later, after some digging, I learned the truth. It was no ordinary blade. Knights carried it as a last resort, a weapon for desperate moments when swords failed. Its cruel design wasn't just for killing, but for making wounds that never truly healed. One blacksmith told me that those struck by it often bled out long after the fight was over. No wonder this poor knight never made it out of those ruins. Day 35 of Wandering the Lands Between. Stumbled upon something today, buried under some rubble in an old temple. At first glance it didn't look like much, just another scrap or so. The blade is thin, chipped, and the hilt smooth from the years of use. I nearly left it, but something about it caught my eye. It feels light, too light, if you know what I mean. Doesn't seem made for anyone with real strength. I heard whispers about it before, yeah? A weapon like this belonging to a warrior named Okina, supposedly part of a set for quick, close combat. I don't know if this is his, but it's dull and small, like it serves its purpose, but I'm not betting my life on it. In a place like this, every weapon is a gamble. Day 35 of Wandering the Lands Between. I have come to realize that before I can truly understand the creatures that roam these lands, I must first learn the weapons used to fight them. A blade tells a story, and I need to read them all before I go any deeper. Today I found the main course. It had me puzzled at first. It looked like any other parrying blade, but there is more to it. Unlike the parrying dagger, this one is meant to withstand the full force of a blow, rather than just deflect it. A knight I spoke to claimed it was a duelist weapon, built for draw-on fights, where every defense matters. But even if you can turn aside a sword, it won't do you much good if your foe is swinging something like a hammer. Day 36 to 43. I should have known better than to wander too close to their wretched domain. These celebrants caught me off guard, dragging me into their ramshackle village, where laughter and screams blended into one, their feast best not to dwell on what was roasting over the fires. Days blurred together, my mind teetering between despair and plotting escape. Then a chance, a drunken guard, a loosened rope. I run, clutching the first weapon I could snatch, a jagged sickle, its edge worn from the ritual use. Now it's mine, a reminder of where I have been, and of the danger still waiting in the lands between. For now I am safe. The fire crackles beside me and my wounds will heal soon. I will press on. There is still much to uncover. The sickle beside me.